What's up, guys? It's your boy, Mr. Luke Evan Brooks. Wanted to talk to you again. I know we've been behind on our motivational videos, and we've been doing a lot of things in the background, which I'm going to unveil to you here shortly in about a week or so. I want to talk to y'all. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe because I'm going to lay down what's going on and keeping it real. So I'm living in Bahrain here, and I just want to talk to you about leadership. We could talk about great leaders, but we're going to talk about poor leaders. I'm not going to name names in this story. I'm just going to give you some background to it, right? So we're dealing with people who may have to make a change on how organization is, right? Not because the people are doing wrong, it's just because people don't want to accept responsibility. Like if you effed up, say, hey, it's on me. Well, instead of doing that, it's just like the folks, you can feel the energy in the room is off. You can feel that folks are just like, oh, well, I'm just going to do what the higher boss is going to say and not really give him what he's looking for. So that's what I've seen in my past. And I'm going to tell you how to correct that, really. And this is going for the person who's going to fit those roles as a leader. If you are walking in a situation that you're unfamiliar with, let your ego go. I mean that. Like, let it go. Don't walk in here acting like you know everything because of your experience on other commands or other jobs that you've been at. If you've never been in this situation ever in your life, you need to let it go. You need to be like, look, I'm new to this. Especially, like usually in the Navy, they give you training for the job you're going to. Well, the thing that's going on, there's no training. You just get there and they have to build you up. So if you've never been involved with any of this stuff, you have to start learning. You have to get on the ground and start running. That way, when your big boss, right, is asking you questions, you can become that subject matter expert or have someone with you. I've learned that in the past. Now, as a leader, you got to be able to back your guys up. I know at previous commands, we had leaders that may caught hell from their boss, but they never brought it into the workplace. They never vented it out or whatnot. Another good trait that you got to have is be able to take what a person's given to you and understand it, not dismiss it like, oh, well, we don't need this. Because I seen that. And I was that kind of rubbed me the wrong way because it was just like, well, you want all the stuff to happen. So to me, I read body language. I read what people say and do. You know, one of the things is just like, hey, you need additional folks to do a mission. If you get additional folks, you can justify stuff. But we live in a world now, especially with the military now, that you don't get all those people. They just don't give them out because people are not joining like they used to. It's like there's gaps. There are many gaps. And that causes what? You to work more, make you do double shift, make you do overtime, things like that. And you got to get off dependency. So if you're asking for all the stuff, I hate people asking me for stuff. Hey, give me some money. I usually cut people off. If you're constantly doing that and you don't have nothing to show for, like, hey, this is the reward, this is my payback, for you helping me, it's not going to help me out. It's not going to really do anything for no one. And I've seen folks get upset. I've seen people start crying. I saw people fall into depression. And I got to tell you guys, you got to be smart with it. You don't want to be in a situation where you don't know what's going on in your world and you're dealing with bosses or leaders or whatever. Just because they have a title or rank or anything doesn't mean that they're a good leader. Yes, they hold an authority position, but they're not a good leader. And you got to be mindful of that because these people will set you up for doom. And I'll be honest with you, we live in this time and age where some people they want that title, but they don't really want to act that title. And I'm telling you guys, it's about to come to an end. It's about to come to an end. And I was always taught that, playing on a football field, being in the military, things like that, you got to keep pushing through, especially you got people that is dependent on you to help. Not to be like, well, let me sell them out. I don't want to hear what you say, blah, blah, this and that. And then when your people are trying to tell you not to do something, like they come together and say, don't do this, and you're like, no, I'm gonna do it. It's just like, then what's the point? You just, well, I tried. And that's the thing, a good leader's gonna listen, especially when you got the masses. Now, if I'm telling you to go drive in a dead end, you obviously see there's a dead end, there's a brick wall. Okay, yeah, don't do that. But when people are talking about how the flow of things are, how people receive information, especially the person you got to send a message to, you just don't be talking and don't know what you're talking about. I learned that too in the military. I learned that early on, like, hey, don't sit there and be talking about stuff. It's better for you to shut up and listen and absorb. And if you really be an effective leader, you got to have effective communication. You can't be jumping around. You can't sit here and be like, I want this now, I want that, because that's sending a message already. You're going to send a message one way or another. You're going to send a message of clarity or a message of confusion. And when you do the things that you need to do as an effective leader, you have effective communication that's clear and concise, and there's no confusion in the room. And I'm telling you guys, like, I've been on both ends of that stick, where someone says, yeah, this is exactly what I want, or no, I don't want that, or I want to change this up. Like, you have no understanding. Like, you should know before you walk into the room what something or what you want to have as an idea. Hey, I wanted to be formed like this, and relay that. Now, that's not stopping with people that you owe with. That's the people that you got to report to as well too. I do that with my business. I do that with my team. I lay it out. I say, this is what we want. And I take feedback, because hey, what do y'all think about that? And they say, well, I don't understand, or I get it, or can you explain it a little bit better to me? And you go back and you give them what they need, because don't get mad at them. Well, you don't get mad at them. You want to be successful. You want your team to be successful. You know, to me, why I'm passionate about this, because I don't like quitters. I told y'all this. I quit one thing in my life with my father, and I will never quit again. Even though he's away, he's gone, he transitioned, I'm not going to quit. And that means don't quit on your team. I'm not going to quit on my team. And I see folks just be like, oh, well, you know, I tried. And it's just like, that's a bad feeling. I was telling the guy the other day, man, it's like, hell, you might have to burn some sage because of injury, because it will. When you have people who are not bringing that energy, they're not bringing that positive energy, they're just kind of going through the motions, you can't fake it. They can sit there and tell you everything's good, but I read body language. Like, if you're good at reading body language, you get what, how they talking, how they do things. It is kind of like, oh, well. And I'm just like, okay, you know, we'll see where the chips fall. Because I'm not worried. At the end of the day, I was telling myself this, you know, the military is not forever. You're gonna be able to retire, and you're gonna be able to do your thing. Or you might be the folks out here, might not even be in the military. You might be the person who might say, hey, I'm working at the job, but I got an end game in mind. Don't let the job control you where you have no end game. Have a desire in your life. Be able to make an effective choice on what you want to do and lead your people if you choose to be a leader. Don't let it be the other way around, where people are bossing you around. Now you put yourself in the corner of a box, or you don't know how to say no. Because a leader will be able to say no to higher ups if something doesn't make sense. Or better yet, if they don't understand what the problem is, you do get leeways, right? Meaning that, hey, you put me in this position, never dealt with this before, I need help. That's one thing I learned that from my mom. Don't sit around with your mouth closed, and then when you get in a bad situation, well, I need help. You should be saying it from the get-go. Hey, I don't understand this. I need help. I need help. I need help. And then things will flex out the way they need to be. If people don't understand it when you first step into the role, I need clarification, then that's one thing. You like, okay, this guy doesn't understand it. Let me break this down or let me give him some type of orientation, he or she. But if you waiting months, and now you're in an extreme situation, it's not looking good. And I tell that for anyone. Even with your business, if you're doing something like, I had a person refer to me about a new system that I can use for my current business. And, you know, I'm not being skeptical or not being negative, because it's a difference. Being skeptical is like, hey, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to look at it and see what you're talking about, and then we can discuss it more, versus someone saying, well, no, I don't understand it, so I'm not going to do it. And that might be something that can change your life night and day. I had that problem where someone's trying to help me out and I didn't want to take their advice, and it put my ass in a bad situation if I would have just listened to them. And I'm telling you now, if you really want to make that change in your life, you got to be willing to let go of your ego to be an effective leader in this world today. Whether you're leading people in a war, if you're leading people in an office, you're leading people for your business, you're leading people in your homes, you need to be effective with your communications. So guys, I'm at my house now, wanted to talk to you, wanted to get that off my chest. If you got any questions or concerns, let me know. I have a question for you. What traits do you value in an effective leader? Let me know. Till then, guys, I'll see you next time.